The conclusion: age is not a barrier to purpose. So then, what shall we say of the years that have passed? Shall we call them a thief, robbing us of strength? Or shall we call them a teacher, granting us wisdom? The answer lies not in the years themselves, but in how we choose to see them. To some, time is a burden, a slow fading of all that once was. But to those who understand, time is a gift, shaping us for purposes yet to be fulfilled. Many believe that purpose belongs to the young because they have energy. But energy without wisdom is like an unbridled horse, full of movement, but without direction. The value of a life is not measured in how swiftly one runs, but in how faithfully one walks the path set before them. And if the path is still before you, then so too is the purpose. There is no season of life in which a soul is useless. There is no age at which one is discarded from the work of doing good. If the breath of life still fills your lungs, then the work of life still calls to you. It may not look as it once did. Perhaps your hands no longer build, but they can bless. Perhaps your feet no longer travel far, but your words can still journey into hearts. Too many have accepted the lie that purpose is something they had and lost, rather than something they carry until the very end. A river does not cease to flow simply because it nears the ocean. Its waters, having gathered from countless streams, do not vanish, but pour themselves out into something greater than themselves. So it must be with life. Its wisdom, its lessons, its love must be poured out, given freely, never held back out of fear that it no longer matters. It is not only the strong who shape the world, but the wise, and wisdom is not the fruit of youth, but of years. The world has never needed strength alone. It has needed counsel, guidance, endurance. If the old were meant to be silent, why then are the greatest lessons learned from those who have walked before us? Why do we turn to the past for answers? Because the past holds the wisdom we need, and those who carry its lessons have the power to change the future. Think not of what you can no longer do, but of what you are still called to do. Even now there are battles to be fought, though they are not fought with swords, but with truth. Even now there are journeys to be made, though they are not measured in miles, but in the lives touched along the way. The work of love, the work of wisdom, the work of faith, these do not belong to the young alone. They belong to all who choose to walk in them. Do not let the years deceive you. They have not made you weaker. They have made you richer. They have not emptied you. They have filled you. Every sorrow you have endured, every joy you have known, every truth you have discovered. These are treasures meant to be given, not buried. Do not withhold from the world what only you can give. Some may say, but my time is nearly spent. And yet, is it not in the final notes of a song that its melody is most deeply felt? Is it not in the closing lines of a book that its meaning is most powerfully revealed? Life is not measured by its length, but by its depth. And the depth of your days is not yet complete. It is not the one who starts the race that receives the prize, but the one who finishes it. The journey is not done until the final step is taken. If you are still here, then your purpose is still unfolding, and the story of your life is still being written. Do not close the book before its final words have been penned. Look around you. There are hands that need lifting, hearts that need mending, minds that need guiding. The greatest gift you can give the world is not in what you once were, but in who you are now. The world does not need what you had in your youth. It needs what you have gathered in your years. And what of the fear that all this is in vain? That one's purpose, though pursued to the end, might be forgotten. This is the greatest lie of all. For no kindness is ever lost, no wisdom ever unheard, no love ever wasted. The smallest seed of truth planted today will grow into something far greater than what we can see. Purpose is not measured by what we hold, but by what we give away. Let no man say that his time is over until the final breath has left his lips. Let no woman believe that her purpose is past until she has given all that was placed in her to give. If there is still life, there is still purpose. If there is still light, there is still work to be done. The setting sun is no less beautiful than the rising one, and the final years are no less valuable than the first. So go forward, not as one who has finished the race, but as one who runs with the strength of knowing that the finish line is near. Live with purpose, love with courage, speak with wisdom, and give without fear. And when the day comes when your work is truly done, you will not leave this world having wasted your years, but having spent them well, spent them fully, spent them in purpose. And when that moment comes, when the final breath is drawn and the last words are spoken, the life you have lived will not fade into nothingness. It will echo on in the hearts you have touched, in the lessons you have taught, in the love you have given. And that, in the end, is the only purpose worth living for.